Hello, my lovelies. It's Tamara from Manta Systems, and today I wanted to talk about what makes the R1 frozen fish food feeder truly different. If you've been in the hobby a while, or even if you're new to it, you probably already know that feeding frozen food has always kind of been a bit of a hassle. You have to thaw it, rinse it, drop it in manually, and if you're away from home, good luck. Well, most people just switch to dry food when they leave, which means their fish and corals can get a completely different nutritional profile for days or even weeks. Some fish won't eat those kind of prepared diets, and they simply don't have the same nutritional profile, and I won't even go into the hassle of those automatic feeding disasters where they feed half of the food at one time. The R1 is designed to completely change that. I wanted to make something that can be used for daily use or on vacation when you have to go away. I've talked to some people that love feeding their tank, and that's awesome. But what about in the middle of the day or when you're out of town? I got tired of my tank's feeding schedule ruling my life, so I created what I think is the perfect feeder, and I hope you will agree. So let's talk about why it makes it so different and why I personally think it's a game changer. First up, the feeder is a miniaturized freezer that keeps food solidly frozen. That might sound obvious, but it's not something any other system is doing. A lot of other people have tried DIY solutions or other tech that hovers around cold, but the truth is your frozen fish food should stay frozen until the moment it hits the water. Why? Because when frozen food thaws, even if it's kept extremely cold, its nutritional value starts breaking down immediately. You start losing important vitamins, especially water-soluble ones like vitamin C. You lose those delicate omega fatty acids, the proteins start to degrade, and that's what your fish rely on for long-term health, strong coloration and immune support. So when we say solidly frozen, we mean it. The R1 keeps food frozen at -11 degrees Celsius or around 12 degrees Fahrenheit. Right until it's dispensed. That means every cube is as fresh and nutritious on day 70 as it was on day 1. And speaking of days, let's talk about capacity. The R1 holds 72 cubes of frozen food. If you feed once a day, that's 72 days without needing to refill it or clean it. That alone is a huge upgrade from feeders where you're topping them off every couple of days or fiddling with food trays. But maybe the best part is you're not limited to feeding one type of food or even once a day. You can feed constantly. If you want to feed one cube in the morning and have this feed your afternoon snack, great. If you want to feed your tank 10 times a day, it can handle that too. Go for it. It's your reef, your schedule. Now let's talk about intelligence, because this isn't just a feeder with a timer. The R1 is fully connected. It has Wi-Fi, it has Bluetooth, and every function is fully controllable on your phone, whether you're across the room or across the country. We've built smart notifications right into the system. So if your feeder is running low on cubes, you'll get a heads up. If there's a jam, you'll know immediately. If you lose internet, everything is stored in the cloud. If your home loses power and then regains it, you'll get a notification letting you know what the internal temperature is and what happened while you're away. And here's the important thing. If the temperature inside the feeder went above our safe threshold for too long, the feeder won't just go back to feeding like nothing happened. That's a big deal. That's spoiled food. We don't want compromised food going into your tank. So instead, it pauses everything and waits for you to clean it out and reset it before continuing. If everything stayed safely frozen, it just resumes feeding just like normal. And if it's in between the safe and unsafe zone, we let you make the call. It'll send you a notification asking if you'd like it to continue feeding. If selected yes, it goes back to program schedule. If not, it pauses it until you have a chance to refill the unit. Another smart feature we built into it is an optical sensor, which means every time the unit attempts to feed, we know whether or not it had a successful feeding. So if you're on vacation, you don't have to sit there wondering, did it feed, did it not feed? The feeder knows if a cube dropped. If it didn't, it retries up to 3 times, and if there's still an issue, it rotates it to the next column and sends you a notification letting you know, so you're always in the loop. And lastly, there's constant temperature monitoring. The R1 doesn't just cool and hope for the best. It tracks temperature constantly through 3 separate sensors, making sure everything stays exactly where it needs to be. This is how we protect your food, your tank, your fish. We ensure that your nutritional value stays locked in from the moment you load the feeder to the moment that it feeds. So when people ask what makes the R1 different, the answer is it's smarter. It's safer, and it's made to work with frozen food the way it was meant to be fed. You get all the benefits of fresh, high-quality nutrition without the stress, without the mess, and without wondering what's happening when you're not there. We've built this for real reefers with real tanks who care about long-term health and ease of use. Thanks for watching, and if you want to learn more or see the full walkthrough of all the different features and how it works, check out our next video coming up, and make sure you're signed up for our Indiegogo launch day. I hope you'll join me on this journey together, and as always, happy reefing!